Hi, this is Kevin, and now we're at the dyno room at Lectron. We have a basic Kawasaki here, pretty simple bike. I figured it'd be a perfect one to test on because it's got EGTs. We're going to explain to you a little bit of how this is all done. These carburetors here we have in the bike are just out of the box, so we don't know how they're going to run, so it'll be a very good test, just like you would put on it. We're going to be observing the EGTs, exhaust gas temperatures, for cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you don't have this at home, EGTs, you can simply just buy a gun from a local shop or whatever, a heat gun. They're very cheap, and you can actually point them at each pipe. I'll show you later how to do that. Very simple. You point it at number 1, number 2, and number 3 exhaust pipe, and you can do the same thing. It gives you your readings. As we adjust the carburetors, we're also going to be looking at our idle screws. Down here on the carburetor is your idle screw. As I change this idle screw, I'm going to watch my EGTs, and if I have a cold cylinder, or I'm going to turn this idle up, it'll heat the cylinder up. And then also, if I have a hot cylinder, I would turn the idle down, it would cool it off. We're also going to be talking about the slide heights as we look inside the carburetor. Inside the carburetor, you can actually see the slide height, or cutaway we call it. And you can see, as I open the throttle up, the cutaway, it's get bigger. But the cutaway will change as I move the slide up and down. When the carb's tuned properly, we should have a pretty decent cutaway. We don't want a real low one or a real high one. When we have a real low slide, very little gap, that lets me know, even though the bike runs good, that lets me know that the bike is lean and we have to richen that cylinder up. And on the other hand, if the bike runs good and I have a very extremely high slide, I know the bike is rich and I have to lean that out. We try to get them basically as close as possible, the slide heights. The biggest thing is you just get your bike to run good. That's the biggest thing, and the exhaust gas temperature is correct. But then if you really want to get finicky, you try to get the slide heights as close as you possibly can. So that's the basic 3 things we're looking at when we were tuning these. We're going to start the bike up, and it's going to get a little louder, and we'll try to explain how the relationship between the exhaust gas temperatures, idle screws, and the slide heights do to get this tuned in perfectly.